So a big shout out to Tech Bike Parts for the Fuel X Lite Euro 5 version. Just going to unpackage it first, see what's in the box. You've got a little note with read me first. That's just to make sure you've bought the correct unit. There are two units, the Euro 4 model and the Euro 5 model. Now the only difference between the two is an extra set of harnessing which the Euro 5 needs. The quick start and warranty guide just goes through the contents of the box and roughly what is involved in installing the unit. For more comprehensive fitting instructions, there is a QR code on the back of the quick start guide. We'll put a link on the description. Scan that, that takes you to the Race Dynamics India website, and that goes through a more comprehensive fitting of the unit. Without that, I couldn't have done it. Now looking at the box, the Fuel X Lite is a small unit. Just getting it out of the packaging now. It's really well packaged is this unit. Actually the packaging needs part destroying to get the unit out. It's that well packaged. So we'll just take the unit out of the box. It's only a fairly small unit which can be discreetly hidden under your seat. So that's the Race Dynamics tuning box. Next you get a harness. Now this is the harness which the Euro 5 versions come with. That adapts the connectors from the unit to be able to work with a Euro 5 bike. Next part is the main umbilical, which connects into the unit itself and goes to the towards the lander sensors on the exhausts. You've also got a connector that goes into the unit and a ground cable. Now this ground cable just gets connected to the negative terminal of your battery. You also get some zip ties, a couple of stickers and a fancy keyring. But we don't need that, we'll put that down for later. So, why have we got this unit? Well, my bike is partially modified at the time of fitting this. It's got a DNA air filter with a pair of Tech Canon silencers to go on. Thank you to Tech Bike Parts. At the time of fitting, they were the only UK distributor that I could find which were selling the Euro 5 version. Other outlets had the Euro 4 version in stock, but only Tech Bike Parts had the Euro 5. Basically, what you've got to do is you've got to remove the tank. Now this is the first time I have removed or uninstalled the tank on the Interceptor. I am working in extremely limited space, limited physically for me getting around the bike and limited also for the camera placement of shooting this. If you're not comfortable in taking the tank off your bike, then you are not going to be able to fit this unit. This unit, once it's fitted, what does it actually do? Well, it's supposed to reduce the engine and exhaust temperature. It's supposed to enhance the engine life. It's claimed to eliminate flat spots and jerkiness. It claims for smoother engine operation. This unit being the Lite has a single auto-tune map. Apparently you need lesser downshifts on the gearbox, and it claims to improve power and torque. I'll give you my opinion once it's fitted. The tank has got to come off. I've got to video the rest of it. It's impossible to video. What's it all about and how easy was it to fit? Well, all I can say is I did start making a fitting video, but unless you've got a full-size studio to get cameras in from every angle, studio lighting from every angle, and a lot of other equipment available, it is near on impossible to shoot a video to show how to fit one and to get the camera angles correct. So basically, the part of the video I did shoot I will show. All I can say is when I looked online to find a fitting video on the Interceptor, there wasn't one, and I thought, right then, there's a challenge. I'll be the first person on YouTube to have a fitting video of the Fuel X Lite from Race Dynamics. No, I gave up as well. So I've got about 5 minutes worth of footage on the start of the installation. Then it's just descriptive from there on. On the actual instructions, there is a QR code. You scan that, you go to the Race Dynamics website, where there is a step-by-step guide on how to fit it. That guide is excellent. It's all I needed to fit the item. Instructions did come with it, paper instructions. Those did make sense once I'd fitted it, but trying to get those instructions to go in to my head was difficult. I needed to see how to do it. Video is much easier. So I put the video on, Race Dynamics video, which was excellent, as I said, really was good. So after removing the fuel tank, basically you've got a little harness that connects to the Lambda O2 sensors in line. You don't have to cut any wiring. It's an inline push-fit connector, so it's an additional bit of wiring that goes in line. You then hide the tuning box somewhere suitable, connect a ground connector to the negative terminal of the battery, tidy up any loose wiring, put the bike back together, and Bob's your uncle. Now, what's the difference between the Fuel X Lite and the Fuel X Pro? Well, basically the Pro has a little rocker switch that goes on your handlebar with a plus or minus. That allows you to change the tuning on the fly to one of 10 preset settings, and that possibly is dependent on the state of tune of your bike in relation to what accessories have you got. Have you changed the air intake? Have you changed the exhaust system? Have you taken the cats off? What have you done to your bike? That allows you to change it. Now on the Lite version you don't get that ugly, and it to me is an ugly handlebar mounted switch. I don't want anything on show like that. It's just something else to go wrong in my mind. The Lite is an intelligent system which takes in a lot of parameters which I will list on the screen. Because it's intelligent, it works out what's available to it with regard to riding style, altitude, temperature, and many other environmental external factors, and it tunes and provides the correct fueling for what it needs. A lot of people say, yeah, but is it any good? Well, yes it is. It's actually fantastic. This is a Euro 5 Interceptor, and the Euro 5s are quite well known for running very lean and not wanting to idle properly. I believe on the Euro 5 they actually raised the ticker over idle to about 1200 RPM to stop it from stalling. But I had issues with this, setting off from traffic lights. Unless you give it a fistful, it used to just bog down and stall. It was rubbish. It was quite dangerous, in all fairness. A lot of people say, yeah, take it back and get it reflashed. That's an option. But I'd already tuned or made some modifications to the bike in relation to a DNA air filter, the Tech Bike Parts Canon exhaust, and I wanted something aftermarket, so I fitted the Fuel X Lite, and it has made a massive difference. Not only does the bike pull from idle, basically, there's no more of this bogging down and stalling business. It's got fuel when it needs it, and it'll redline for fun. Not that I'll ride it round everywhere on the red line, but should you be overtaken, it don't run out of puff, it just bounces off the rev limiter, and it's quite happy up there. You get there before you know it. On the original Euro 5 version, it was fueled okay after about 2000 revs up, but now I feel it's fueled perfectly. Is it worth what I paid for it? Absolutely. I'd recommend it to everybody. The only thing you've got to watch out for is that should you declare it to your insurance company, which you are responsible for doing that, then it may make a difference depending on which insurance company or broker you happen to be insured with, so bear that in mind. Right, so basically we filled up just outside Saltburn. We'd done about 129 and a bit miles. I didn't film the fill up itself because there was two vehicles that had a slight coming together in the petrol station, so I didn't want to put any of that shenanigans on camera. They were arguing the toss on who would run into who. One was going forwards, one was going backwards. Basically the results are quite shocking between the two bikes. What would you think? Would you think the one with the Fuel X was a lot hungrier, or maybe even more efficient in the way it deals with things? Well, as I say, we'd done about 129 point something miles in tandem, filled up to the same brimming point that we'd filled our bikes previously. Nothing scientific, nothing measured exactly, but basically there was about 5 pence between the two bikes over 130 miles. Off the top of my head, I think, and it is off the top of my calculation, that's somewhere near 80 miles to the gallon. And we weren't hanging about at some of the places on the way up to and back from the Tannill pub, Tannill Inn, sorry. So yeah, that's shocked me a little bit. I thought there'd be a bit of a wider gap between the two. I did open the taps quite a bit on occasion, so would have assumed it would have sucked a lot more fuel than the Bingley Wheeler's Interceptor, which is running the standard Euro 5 map. So yeah, basically nothing between the two bikes, nothing at all. For the extra tractability at low revs and the better fueling high up, it's still well worth it. There's no degradation in fuel economy, so that's good to hear. So yeah, Fuel X Lite, there you go. Doesn't really impact your fuel consumption one iota.